Okay. YouTubers, Rebecca Roy here,
And Pamela Tiernan here,
and we are the
Sisters of the Crystal Ball.
woohoo! And we got our crystal balls, and we did a little pre-channeling before the show. So we're just going to read our channeling to you. And um, we wanted to talk about when you channel, how you can tell whether they're low or high entity beings. And I'm going to let my sister explain that. But first, I want to say that when I set myself up to channel, I connect to earth and I connect to heaven. And I say, this is what I say. You can tweak it to whatever you want to say. I say I connect to only the highest of the highest because I don't want any low entity beings in my channel. And if you set that boundary, they cannot, because of free will, they cannot just come in.
That's good. And what I do before I channel is I connect to heaven and earth. And then I say that I banish all negative entities and surround myself with bright golden light that no dark entities can penetrate. And then I am safe.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing to do too. I always have Michael's egg of protection around me because do that first thing in the morning when I get up.
Yes.
Um, thought my cat was at the window. I put an egg of protection around me, and my friend Missy told me about her rubber. So she puts Michael's egg, Archangel Michael's egg of protection. Then she puts the white light of God. Then she puts a rubber around her because remember when you were a kid, I am rubber, you are glue. Anything that you say bounces off of me onto you. So that's what
I
she
do
does.
remember that. Wow.
Yeah. And so when she told me that, I was like, I want a rubber on my egg. So I've been putting rubber on my egg.
That is so cute.
Isn't it?
Love it.
And plus it brings you back into childhood
True. True.
because we're supposed to be looking at things like a child does with childlike eyes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a lot more fun than the jaded eyes of an adult, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely for sure. So go ahead and you can explain um, how you tell when when a dark entity is trying to come in and channel through you.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, you can tell from their energy. Usually, a dark energy will have some kind of negative vibe, and you can tell. But sometimes you can't. And this is what happened to me probably a couple months ago. I was asleep in my bed and I woke up in the middle of the night. It was about 3 in the morning. And above my head, I saw this beautiful white angel wing with all the feathers. And it was just amazingly detailed. And so I looked up and I saw that. And then I felt like I needed to look to the right. And so I looked to the right and I saw this gorgeous angelic being. And it beckoned to me. And so I got out of my bed and I went over to it and I extended my hand like this and it touched me. And when it touched me, I felt the most terrible wave of revulsion. It was just like, ugh. And so as soon as I touched it and I felt that wave of revulsion, I let go and it disappeared. But it was going to take me out of my house. That was the feeling I got from it. And, if you get a feeling from something, then you should believe it. And
Yeah.
so when I let go, everything was fine, but I was absolutely horrified. It woke me up in the middle of the night and I saw something beautiful and my guard was down. And I thought, this is a beautiful angelic being. And if it wants me to go somewhere with it, then I'll go. Because I'm
Right.
used to Archangel Michael coming to me or some good archangel. but
Yeah.
he's been my archangel for a really, really long time. And so, his feeling is just overwhelming love and beauty. And that's what you get when it's and being that is good. But wow, this was just the most awful feeling of revulsion and nausea. And I couldn't hold on to it and I let go. And the minute I did, it left. And
Yeah.
so you need to be really, really careful because these beings will appear to be the most beautiful things in the world and they smile and they beckon to you and you think, wow, this is a safe thing, especially if you wake up in the middle of the night and your guard is down.
Yeah.
So, you know, always need to be on your guard because these
Yes.
entities, the brighter your light, the higher your vibration, the more attractive they are the more attracted they are to you. And so you just need to be aware of it at all times. And it taught me a very valuable lesson for sure. And I will
Yes.
never, ever take for granted that this is a good being of light, even though it appears to be. You need to be very wary. And I don't
Yes.
know what would have happened if I had gone with it. But I was very lucky to have that feeling of utter revulsion and horror. So,
Yes. Yes. And it will make you, they can run through your thoughts like a Rolodex and pick out the things that will draw you to them. And
mhm,
what I always do is I always look for the feeling of love. If that
mhm,
feeling of love isn't coming when I connect, I disconnect immediately. But because I've put that barrier there and you put your barrier there, that's why they came to you when your guard was down, when you were asleep and
mhm,
your guard is down. So now, well, they're going to roll through your Rolodex. Oh, she channels angels. So I'll appear as an angel, because they try to trick you and manipulate you.
mhm.
Excuse
Yeah,
me. And if the love isn't there, then don't connect. If the love is not there, then you know that it's a low entity being.
right. And this being appeared to be full of love, but the minute I touched it, I knew it was very, very different. There was no love at all in that being. And so I let go. It was
Yeah.
involuntary. It was just like, okay, involuntary withdrawal. And thank God.
Yes. And if you keep your vibration high, the likelihood of them, coming to you when you're awake or whatever, when you're cognizant of what's happening, is very, very slim because
Yeah,
they can't really get near you because the problem is for them is they let go of the light of God that they had within them. And because they let go of the light of God that was within them, they can't co-create. So they need us to co-create. So they need to keep us in the fear and despair and depression and all that stuff. And that's why all that's being pumped out in the airwaves to us to bring us down and bring our vibration down. Because once your vibration is down, then they can get at you. But
right,
they don't want the high vibrational beings to um, keep just sending higher and higher and we're teaching, like you and I are teaching people. So they don't want that because then we're going to teach people, hey, when you're in a difficult situation, raise your vibration. You raise your vibration, you raise the situation, and then the answers just come to you instead of you trying to flounder around and use your ego mind to fix it because your ego mind cannot fix it. That's not what it was meant for. It was
no,
meant to keep us safe if a bear is going to attack us. That's what it's for. It's flight, fight, or freeze. It's not for, you know, um, your husband stopped loving you and now you're depressed because you're going through a divorce. It's not for that. So it can't figure that out. It can't figure out your higher path because that's not its job.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, so I think that's really great advice, Pam. I really do. And especially nowadays, because there's a lot of us, and especially people that watch our channel. the majority of the people that watch our channel are on an enlightenment journey. So they're keeping their vibration high.
That's right. And they will attract low vibrational being that just are waiting for a chance to get in and take over.
Yep.
And so we have to be so very, very careful.
Yes. Yes, you do. And you don't want them to get a hold of you, because then they can take your soul and put your soul into a negative space. It's like a cage of negativity. And
Hmm.
then you're there until um, you are born again into a negative body, and then you will have a negative life until you figure out that you need to be positive.
And that could take a long time.
Yeah, it could take hundreds of years. You could be
Hmm.
trapped in that negativity. So you have to be very, very careful when you astral project, when you do lucid dreaming, any of that stuff. Make sure you put your protections around you and fill yourself with light, and so that you are protected, because the angels are here around us all the time protecting us.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, because they want to see this earth experiment, achieve and win. They want to see us propelled into the fifth dimension, and then the sixth dimension, seventh dimension in physicality. Right now we're just concentrating on getting into the fifth dimension, but from what everything they're telling me, we are way ahead of the game. And I almost forgot, I was looking up crystals for the third eye, and my sister bought a new crystal, and I had looked up this crystal, and it has to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's so cool. I was just drawn to it. And this is it. And it is fluorite and quartz. And I was just drawn to the greenness. And of course, like a bird, I'm drawn to sparkly things. And so I just had to have it. But I can see why now.
Magpie.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, it was just meant for me, I think. And I can
Yeah,
read to you, it's too complicated for me to remember. So I can read to you what green fluorite is all about. And I'm trying to find it on my iPad here. So let's get rid of that. Okay. So you use fluorite for clarity and focus. Powerful, it's powerful and helps open the third eye. Fluoride or fluorite is highly protective, especially on the psychic level. It helps you to discern the outside when outside influences are at work within yourself and shuts off psychic manipulation and undue mental illness influence. Sorry,
it's
guys.
what we were just talking about, right?
Right, exactly. This stone cleanses and stabilizes the aura. It is extremely effective against computer and electromagnetic stress, and appropriately positioned, it blocks geographic stress. Using fluorite draws off negative energies and stress of all kinds. It cleanses and purifies the spells, organizes anything within the body that is not in perfect order. It is the best crystal to use to overcome any form of disorganization, which I need all the time. I'm so disorganized. It grounds and energizes and integrates spiritual energies that promote unbiased impartiality and heightens intuitive powers. They seem more aware of higher spiritual realities and can quicken spiritual awakening, focuses the mind to the universal mind. And so, it is a very good stone to have around. Actually have some that's just pure green fluorite. This is mixed up with white, crystal quartz. And
Which is good too for that.
right, exactly. And fluorite is actually a kind of quartz. It's actually a green quartz. And so it's just really a good stone to have around. And you can buy small ones, as small as, like that. And they all have the same powers, but this one just attracted me. It was in this gorgeous shop, and I just thought, wow, I gotta have it. So now it's here and it's protecting me. And I like that, especially after that experience I had with the negative energy that looked just like a beautiful angel.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need to be so careful of those.
That's what people don't understand is Um, the dark angels, they're beautiful.
Yes, they are.
Lucifer
Mhm.
is gorgeous. He's absolutely stunningly beautiful. When you
Mhm.
see the angels, and not that I've had any contact with Lucifer, I have not, but I'm told that he is beautiful. Um,
Mhm.
but when you see the angels, like I've seen Archangel Michael and I've seen Archangel Raphael and I've seen Archangel Ariel, and when you see them, they're so stunningly beautiful that you just can't take your eyes off them. They're like a supermodel maxed out,
Yes, and they
you
radiate
know?
love
I
and
mean,
light.
there's just so much perfection in there. Like with us, our left side is not the same exact as our right side. There's always something a little askew, and it doesn't matter how beautiful or handsome you are, there's always something that's not 100%. But the angels, and that's because of the veil, when the veil comes off, you're going to see people the way that they actually should be. But while the veil is still on us, we aren't perfect. And that's why, and one of the reasons people are so hard on themselves and say I couldn't possibly be perfect, that's why, because
Mhm.
we don't see ourselves as perfect. We see the imperfections, but we don't see the perfection. Um, but God doesn't make anything that isn't perfect. So when the veil does come off, you are going to be stunned at how beautiful you are and how beautiful the angels are and the ascended masters are. Excuse me.
Yeah, I
And
would really like to see that.
yeah, anything that has the light of God in it will be stunningly beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all I have to say about the fluorite.
Okay. All right. So I'll since you just got done telling your stuff, I'll read my channeling and then you can talk about your channeling. And I love how the angels give their messages because my sister really wanted to talk about the dark entity. And then I was teaching a class today about third eyes, and I was looking up the crystals for third eye, and I ran across fluorite. And then she shows me her fluorite. And I'm like, oh my God, this goes exactly with that. It's like they just give you, this little piece of information that you want to talk about, and then you can channel and get more information, or you can just go crystal shopping and end up getting more information with the crystal that you bought, right?
Oh, I know. I cannot resist crystals. I really shouldn't ever go into a crystal shop. It's horrendous.
It's hilarious, I think. But now you know too, not to draw all of the power when you heal.
Right. Right. Or you might hurt someone.
Yeah. Well, you turned Howard's arm into a stone, so
Yes, and I froze him. It took me an hour and a half to warm him up.
God.
He was so cold. But my Reiki did not used to work like that at all. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful.
Yes, you are. But it taught me something, and I didn't even think of doing that until I saw her in my mind's eye when I went to visit her. She was telling me about what she did to Howard, how she was giving him Reiki and she was laying her hands on him. And when she said that, I saw her energy pulling the energy of the crystals in her house. And she has a lot of crystals in her house. So I never would have even thought about that. So now I have a lot of crystals too, not anywhere near as many as my sister does, but I have a lot too. And so I thought about that, and it was like when I got home, I'm like, when I do my healings, because I heal people and I heal my lungs and stuff, um, I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna ask the crystals if I can have some healing energy from them and pull that in too. And that's what got me to start reading about what crystals are good for what.
Yeah. And it's really amazing. I did not even realize that I was doing that until you told me. It
Yeah.
just was naturally happening.
Well, that's because in the previous life you were bringing down the stones for like Stonehenge and all the other portals. And so
Yeah.
you already knew your soul remembers how you did it. It's just not discussing it with you.
No, I had no idea that I was doing that. And it's really a
Yeah,
good thing, but I don't think I was doing it before because I've practiced Reiki since 2009 and I never had the power that I have now. But I never had all these crystals either.
yeah,
So I think, it's the connection to heaven and earth, certainly, and the connection to God and all of the crystals that I'm drawing the power from without it's unconscious, but I am
yes.
drawing them and I can feel like energy coming out of my eyes, out of my palms, and I can feel it coming out of my heart. I can feel my chakra just going round and round and round and expanding. And so that's where the power comes from, all of those
Oh,
things,
yes.
for
Oh,
sure.
yes. I didn't know you felt it coming out of your eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. That is so cool.
It
Yeah,
is
see, I
really
don't
cool.
I don't feel it coming out of my eyes. I feel it coming out of my hands and my feet, and I feel my heart expanding. And
Hmm.
if I'm doing a past life reading and I want to heal that chakra of that past life, then I will spin it in a counterclockwise direction. So I'll feel my heart chakra spinning in a counterclockwise direction because your heart chakra connects all your chakras and balances all your chakras. So you're using your heart chakra when you heal another chakra.
Right.
So yeah, but if you're in the present moment, then you want to go in a clockwise direction. But
Yes.
I never thought about it going through my eyes. That
I
is
don't,
very
yeah.
interesting.
It's incredible. I mean, I didn't ask it to come out of my eyes. It's like all of a sudden I have this superpower and it's coming from everywhere. And so it is just so powerful and I have to be careful. And
Yeah,
fortunately, learned it with someone very, very close to me so that I
yeah,
could help them. But otherwise, if I had done this to a complete stranger, it could be very, very bad.
yeah, yeah. You need to get your powers under control.
I do.
Like we're bewitched and
Wouldn't it be nice if we could just wiggle our noses and things would happen?
like your Tabitha, and then our mother's gone, so our mother can't tell us how to do all this.
Exactly. I don't think my mother knew.
No, I don't think she did. She did have knowing. She had claircognizant, and
Mhm.
she had a very strong empathetic center, so she would feel things.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I
she didn't
wasn't as
have the
close to our mother as you were.
or the clairaudient. I wasn't as close to dad as you were, so
Yeah, it's interesting how that worked, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It is. But it's okay. They're with us now,
Hmm.
and we can talk to them whenever we want to, which I think is just beautiful.
I do too. I love it.
And mom said she's coming back to Earth. Did I tell you?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, she's going to be born again. I don't know when, but she said soon she will be born again.
Wow. I
So
hope
that's
we
very
recognize
interesting.
her because I did recognize Marty as our grandfather.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he knows that. So
Oh, I'm not going to tell him.
just if he watches his Marty,
Oh,
you're Grandpa Carter.
sorry.
By the way,
Oh no.
he doesn't believe in any of it anyways. He's a complete scientist.
Yes, he thinks we're all woo-woo.
Yes, he thinks we're very woo-woo.
Very
Yeah.
strange people. We are actually.
But he's always thought I was woo-woo. I mean, I would tell him I'm psychic, and he'd be like, yeah, 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 yeah. You
I
know,
know he's so grounded in science that he doesn't get that some people actually are psychic,
yeah,
which is a
yeah.
beautiful thing.
It
Not
is
that
a
he doesn't
beautiful
believe
thing.
us, but psychicness is a beautiful thing.
He doesn't believe us.
No, I know he
He
doesn't.
really doesn't. He really, really, really doesn't.
No, I know he doesn't. That's okay.
Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay. I've come to terms with it
Hmm.
because he's
Yeah,
on his journey and I'm on my journey, and he's in the third awakening.
well, he's
So
young too. I mean, when I was his age, I didn't know much about any of this. I just knew
no,
that I had Claire audience, and I
yeah, you
heard
had
things.
claircognizant, but I knew I
That
had
too.
everything. but I didn't always know how to make it happen. Now I know how to make it happen. Because
Hmm.
after I left Jeff, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be blind anymore just because you think I'm crazy.
That's what my first husband said to me all the time.
Yeah.
All the
So
time.
I did the stuff that I did when I was a kid to
Yeah.
practice. And you know how you're a kid and your imagination goes crazy. So I took my energy balls and I threw them at the wall and pretend it was bouncing back at me. And, just different things. I'd close my eyes, I'd stare at a candle, and I'd close my eyes and I'd see the candle. And, I'd flip the
Yeah.
switch and to say, I want my clear on. And I did a bunch of stuff. Which I teach. So if you want to know how to do any of that, um, you can come see me at biglovewaves.com. But yeah, I had to bring it all back because I had shut it off for so long. The only thing I kept was my clairsentient, my feeling,
Hmm.
and because I wanted to be able to, I knew my gut was right on point, and I wasn't going to shut that
Yeah.
off.
Mm-mm.
And I also kept my vision because I loved my visions.
Hmm.
So I shut them off to the point where if anybody was going to be hurt in the family and I couldn't stop it, I didn't want to know it.
Yeah.
So, or die or anything like that. So I stopped any of that kind of knowledge or any of that kind of vision coming in. Um,
So I
and
didn't know
I'm
until you
glad I
left.
did because if you can't do anything about it, why know so and so is going to die? You're just going to be thinking
Mhm.
about it all the time.
It's true. And you think about, well, should I do something? Should I tell them? Should I stop them? And you just can't.
You
You just
can't. You
can't.
can't stop it from happening.
No, you can't. Even if you try, it's going to happen. It's just fated. And that's
Yeah.
the way it is. But, it's just, there were a couple things that I certainly would have liked to have stopped, but I couldn't.
Yeah, same here. All right, so we're gonna get because we're going a little longer than I wanted to today. I want to get us in the sweet spot.
Hmm.
There's a 20-minute video is a sweet spot and 30-minute video is a sweet spot. So if we can keep it between 20 to 30 minutes on YouTube, then we're in the sweet spot.
Yep.
Okay. So I channeled Archangel Zadkiel and I was asking him, he carries the blue violet flame. And I was asking him to help give us some information about the channeling that I got this morning. And this morning I got a channeling about the Christ consciousness chakras. And the Christ consciousness chakras are the seven rays of light, sound, and sacred geometry. But they connected it to the galactics and they connected it to the planets. And as if you're watching us, you're probably watching other bunch of YouTubers that talk about how we're in this. We have all these really unique alignments with the planets. All these unique alignments with the planets that we haven't had for thousands of years, and now they're back. And so the channeling I got this morning was that the galactics are connected to these planets that are in alignment, and they send um, light codes to us, and they send it with the seven rays of colors, and the colors match up to the different galactics. Like the Palladians are blue. I cannot remember what the other ones were, or if he even told me. I think he only told me about the Palladians being the blue ray. So, um, so I wanted a little bit more information. So he was alchemizing my energy. I have some negative energy on me from the dog barking, and I was having a difficult time connecting. So I was now connected, and I wanted to talk about the Christ consciousness chakras. And he says, yes, yes, Rebecca, we will help you with this. Yes, you can connect into the Christ consciousness chakras and you can receive light codes from the Christ consciousness chakras. There are seven rays of color and sound and sacred geometry. The sacred geometry will pour down into your crown chakra and will fill your body with light codes. It will actually attach itself to your DNA and change you little by little. You are changing. And this is how we are doing it. The best way to connect to the Christ consciousness chakras is if you are outside and you ground into the ground. Then connect into Mother Gaia and connect your chakras all the way up through your higher self chakra. Which is your soul star chakra, which is 3 feet above your head. Bring more of your higher self chakra into your vessel. So you would bring that higher self into your sacral chakra, because that's where your higher self, where your peace of God resides. And you're going to open up your heart 6 feet in all directions and connect into the 3 Christ consciousness chakras. You're going to connect to them one at a time, not all 3 at once. And you want to connect to them, into them. So when you connect into them, you're going to feel a vibration, a higher vibration, and then you connect to the next one, you're going to feel an even higher vibration. And then when you connect it to the third one, you're going to feel an even higher vibration. And each Christ consciousness chakra will give you a different set of light codes. And then you will be connecting to the galactics when you do this. So, and I don't know which galactics you're going to connect into. This is all very new information for me and my sister. Well, she talks to my dad. I talk to my dad every once in a while, and he's an Octorian, but I really don't talk to the galactics. I usually talk to the angels and ascended masters. So this was very, very new information for me. So the light codes that you receive are the codes that you need at the time of your connection. So every time that you connect, you're going to receive different codes depending on what it is that you need. So the first connection might be the Pleiades that give you the first code. And maybe at the end, I texted this, so it says, let's just say the Octorians. And then maybe on the third one, it's the Galactics from Sirius, or whatever code it is that you need for the progression of your soul is the code that you will receive. You have been told that the planets are in alignment. That is very unique, and it hasn't happened for thousands of years. And this is true, and it is because of that, the time that we are in, and in the time that we are in, we are on an ascension journey that is unprecedented. It is unprecedented because we have planned on you going into the 5th dimension in physicality, and then maybe in 100 years or more, you would go into the 6th and 7th dimension in physicality. But this is not true. Some of you have already propelled yourself into the 6th and 7th dimension. So the time frame has been increased. So from 2032 to 2050, this is the time of the ascension. The ascension is happening now, and you will go into the 5th dimension very soon. So do not get upset, my dear Rebecca. When I say 2032, I'm panicking. I'm like, what? I probably want to be alive.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. To 2050. 2032 to 2050 is when everything changes, and you will no longer even recognize the planet that you live on. And 2050 is what is now. It is now, and it will be completely different. So it could be sooner. This is just, their time is hard for them because they don't have time. So they usually don't give us a date. And this is not new, that they have a hard time with telling when the time is, because there's 8 billion people on this planet, and we're all making decisions moment to moment. So that changes the timeline. And there will be completely different. There will be no more pollution. There will be no more traumas, no more hunger, no more travesty. These things will not happen. You will plan your exit point, and you will have a celebration for your exit point, and you will say goodbye to everybody. And then you will go on to a new adventure. So, okay. So what will happen is you'll be able to manifest, you'll be connected, and you'll be in the 5th dimension, and you'll be able to bring to you what you need. So if you need food, then you'll be able to bring that food to you. You want a new job, you envision the job that you want to have, and you put your energy into what you want to have, and that job will come to you. You're not going to chase anything anymore. It's all going to come to you. So right now we're playing with it. And so if you're just going about your day, your every day, and you're following your joy, and you're being in gratitude, and you're loving everybody unconditionally, and you're not judging people, then things are going to come to you. So you just tell the universe, I would like this or something better. And then you just know it's coming. And it does. It just shows up. And you're like, wow, it works. Because that's how it works. Because you're in alignment to the thing that you asked for. But if you're not in alignment to the thing that you asked for, then it's not going to come. And that is exactly how it works. So they're ones that create the planets to create universe, and they create everything. Oh, they're talking about the 6 and 7 dimensions. So the 6th dimension is the architects, and they're creators. And we're all creators, but they create universes and planets and things like that. So we will work with them and tell them, what it is that we want this world to be like. We don't want famine. We don't want, earthquakes and fires and all the duality that we have right now. We don't want that. We want things to be different, and they will be different. And the way that he was showing me, I honestly didn't even recognize things. I didn't recognize things, and I didn't realize some of the things that we were going to have, some of the, I guess we call them magical powers, because right now it'd be magical. um we'll have these things that we can do that we see that will seem absolutely magical, and we'll be able to teleport ourselves places through portals. We'll be able to create portals. We'll be able to like, I'll be able to go visit my sister, and I won't be taking a plane to Oregon. I'll be using a portal, and I'll go to my sister's. And everything on the other side, in the 5th dimension, when you talk, it's through emotion. So we don't use our mouths anymore. We won't use our mouths. That's why a lot of these galactics, their mouth is very small, because they're not using their mouth, because they're feeling what it is that they want to say, and that feeling is being conveyed to the person. So they'll know what you want, and there's no lying, because you're feeling that, and that feeling is going to them. And so they would know if you were lying instantly, because your words aren't matching the feeling. So it's very interesting. Um, okay. So you will be part of the process if you're able to reach that level of consciousness and physicality. And then I asked, will we be able to be, when you say 2032 to 2050, and we're just sitting here waiting for it to happen tomorrow? What is it that we're waiting to happen tomorrow? You are changing, your body is changing from the physical to the crystalline structure. And that this is not going to happen overnight. It will happen over a series of different changes that will happen in your body. Your body will change what you eat, what you drink, how you breathe, how you do everything will change. What do you mean how I breathe will change? And then they said you overbreathe, so you won't do that anymore. So that's true. How I breathe will change. Um, Okay, so how they breathe is breathing in toxins. We won't be breathing in the toxins. We won't be breathing in the pollution. So that's not going to all those contaminants won't be in our body. Like, our soil is so contaminated that it's toxic. And that won't happen anymore, because we'll be pouring all this love into the planet, and the soil will be beautiful and healthy, and just like everything else will be beautiful and healthy. Okay. Okay. So we're putting things into place as we speak to get rid of the pollution, to get rid of the things that the systems that do not serve you any longer. And this is a beginning. That's why I say this is a beginning, because the things that do not serve you are being broken down, as we speak. But that does not mean that tomorrow you're going to be flying without an aircraft. It means that you are at the beginning of things breaking down, your beginning of your body changing into from the physical structure that it is to a crystalline structure. You're at the beginning of being able to use your psychic capabilities. The psychic capabilities that you have are not fully developed, that they seem like they're fully developed, because it seems pretty magical what you're able to do right now. but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be enhanced. They're going to be there's going to be 1,000-fold of things that you can do now that you can't do now, but you will be able to do in the future. This is the beginning. This is the beautiful time. So we will be in the fifth dimension soon. Yes, yes, yes. You'll be in the fifth dimension soon. You don't have to worry. In fact, do not worry. Worry brings your vibration down. And when you bring your vibration down, you do not you stop yourself from going into the fifth dimension. That means that you will have things when you get there, you will have things easier. You'll be able to manifest things very easily. You'll be in a high vibration of joy and gratitude. Because you're in a high vibration of joy and gratitude, you will be able to bring the things to you that you want. So you want to live in a different house, and you'll bring yourself to the vibration that matches the house that you want to live in. And everything has a vibration. Money has a vibration. Houses have a vibration. Jobs have a vibration. Love have a vibration. Loved ones have a vibration. Everything has a vibration. When your vibration is in alignment with the thing that you want, nothing that you and nothing when nothing is coming to you that you want, that means that you're not in the vibration. Okay. And then I just thanked him because he asked me if there's anything else that I want to know, and I said no. And he had so much energy that my hair looked like bedhead when I was done. It was crazy how much he went in and alchemized my energy and like reshuffled me. I felt like I was a deck of cards, and he went. Zzz, zzz. That's how I
Wow.
felt. That's what it felt like. And I thought I was in pretty good alignment until he got done with me. And then it was like, oh, wow, I feel really good now. Because remember, I kept saying I'm so tired.
Yes.
Yeah, I was. I was feeling very tired. I don't feel tired anymore at all.
Well, he needs to come and reshuffle my brain.
Oh, he reshuffled everything. He like
Wow.
pulled all my chakras and like buffed them up and clicked them back in. And
Wow. Who is this again so I can call on him?
Archangel Zadkiel.
All right. Archangel Zadkiel.
Yeah, he carries the blue violet flame, and he is
Yeah.
amazing. He's violet. When you see him, you'll see violet colors.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. He's awesome. Okay, so now we have your channeling.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Okay. So I asked the angels, do you have anything to tell me? And they said, yes, we do. So let's see. So I had my hands on Mariah and I could feel my palms tingling, and that's always a sign that the angels are going to speak to me. So I knew that it was the angels because I cleansed my space and I sprayed Palo Santo all around the room and just made sure that everything was clear. And the angels came in. And so they said, this is a very interesting time on the planet Earth. Things are rapidly changing and we need to be open to change. We need to listen to our hearts and souls, and they will tell us what we need to do. It's going to be a time of very, very rapid change. And the best thing to do is just go with the flow. Do not be afraid, because you will come out on the other side. You'll be alive and well, and probably even better than you are now, because we're going to raise your vibration. And I'm not just talking about my vibration, I'm talking about everyone is going to have their vibration raised. And so you'll come into many more powers than you already have, or they will be greatly enhanced. Um, your knowing will be greatly enhanced. And listen when you hear a voice in your head. When you have a thought that isn't yours, you'll be able to tell because it'll just come out of the blue. Listen to these thoughts because they are divine guidance. And then do your best to do as the guidance tells you. And they seem strange at first. You'll find that the more you do what the guidance tells you, the more messages you'll receive. And it will be like you have a knowing, or when you're thinking about something, all of a sudden, if you have a question in your mind, you'll have the answer. And you can question the answer, look it up, and see if it's true. I've been doing this for weeks just to make sure. But so do not worry. This angelic communication is accurate. But I know there are lots of you that will question what you're hearing because you haven't heard it before. It isn't something that you've done all your life, and you have to get used to it. So just listen, and all kinds of things will come into your head. And when they first started coming into my head, I was like, this, what is this? It can't be right. And so I looked up everything that popped into my head, and everything was exactly right. So everyone can do this. And after a while, you'll just trust what the things that come into your head, because they will be true, and you'll have a link to the angels, and they will be telling you things that you need to know, or even things that you just want to know. So let's see. You'll be wondering what kind of flowers, um, what kind of, like, this is, I went through this, and I was the other day, I was looking at these beautiful blue flowers that I didn't know the name of. And all of a sudden, the name lobelia came into my head. And it was like, okay, I never heard of lobelia before. So I looked it up. And then I was holding this stone that I've had in my collection for a really long time. It's this beautiful light blue stone, very shiny, very gorgeous. And all of a sudden, the word chalcedony came into my head. And I looked that up too. Well, I have a stone identifier. And so I took a picture of it. And sure enough, it was chalcedony. So just listen and absolutely verify what you're hearing in your head. But you're going to find out that you have a channel all of a sudden to a higher power, and they will tell you. And it's absolutely wonderful. It's like having like the internet in your head. It's awesome. And
Yes.
so let's see. So you'll be let's see. Oh, say, I'm getting all excited. I can't remember where I was here. Anyway, so the answer that I'm getting is right 100% of the time. And so it will be accurate. So you listen to your thoughts that come into your head. And let's see. Okay. And it's going to be a very exciting journey. It really is. And if you look at it with excitement, because it is so awesome, then you will do much better. Don't be afraid, because this is positive. It's good, and it will improve your life so very, very much. And that's all. Oh, and I asked, who am I talking to? And this was Archangel Michael, who is my very special angel, and I love him to pieces. Anyway, and that's my channel for today. So it was really fun, and I enjoyed it.
We had a lot of good information, I think, and it all kind
Yeah,
of tied together. And
yes,
so when you first start channeling, they're going to use words that you don't normally have, and they're going
right.
to give you information that there's no way you're going to know, like they did with my sister. And you're going to feel that love washing through you. It's like this warm, tiggly, little prickly, but it's love. There's so much love because all these beings that talk to us are so full of love that, when they give it freely, I mean, we're a society, humans are a society that we're a little bit afraid to give love to just anybody, but they are not.
Right.
And they give it to everybody because they understand, and we're starting to understand too, that we're all part of the one. So we all are love. We all are love. And so when you first have them channel through you, that's what you're going to feel. You're going to feel the love. And sometimes it's really intense. Like when Yeshua comes in, you're going to cry. There's just no way about it because he loves you so much. And you'll be like, how could anything love me this much? I'm not even sure I love me this much.
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah, it's true because we've been trained to, withhold love, and we've been trained to look at the negative, not the positive. So we're in this whole huge transition of changing ourselves from the negative to the positive. So, and to giving love unconditionally, no matter what, without judgment. And so we're all on this road, and we're all at different stages on this road. And so just be really, really easy on yourself. If you're not there yet, you will be there because the veil is thinning. And the more that the veil thins, the easier it is for us to connect.
It's true. And I think that the more open we are and the more love we carry in our hearts, the more they will talk to us and the more
Yes.
insights that we will receive. And we just need to believe it and absolutely look up the things that you hear in your head because you will. It'll just be a knowing that you have in your head and it's like, wow, is that true? Can this possibly be? And it is. And it's exciting. And I just can
Yes.
hardly wait till all of you experience the same thing and you will. So
Yes.
just be patient
Because we
with
all have
yourselves.
this. Yeah.
Yes, we do. So be patient with yourselves. And by all means, look up the information that you receive, and you'll become more and more confident. The more and more information that you receive, the more you realize that it's accurate, you know, you will believe it. You'll come to believe it and you'll go, yes, that's a lobelia. Oh, that's cosending. Wow, that is so cool. Thank you very much. And,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, the
exciting.
information they gave me today about the planets being connected to the galactics and the galactic sending the the light codes. I had no idea any of that. I
Right,
didn't know any of it. And that's part of it is they're giving you information that there's no way that you could have known. Just no way you could
right,
have known that.
right.
And
Yeah, and
that's
you know
the
you
beautiful
didn't know
part
it
of it.
before.
Yeah. So you feel yourself growing. You
Hmm.
feel that growth. You feel like, oh, okay, I know more. I know what I'm doing, and I can see that I'm projecting more love and I'm loving more unconditionally and I'm judging less and I'm thinking more positively. And you're just watching yourself. When you think back 6 months from now, you're gonna be like, wow, I used to like totally freak out when that trigger came and now I feel nothing at all.
Right.
And it's just such a wonderful time and we should be enjoying it. So
Yes,
follow
we
your
should.
joy.
And
Follow
it
your
has a
joy.
it has a great deal to do with the heart chakra.
Yes.
It really, really does. And if you can expand your heart chakra, the more information you'll receive, and you'll find that you're more open to giving, which is a very
Yes.
important part of the giving receiving cycle. And if you are only receiving, then you don't know the joy of giving. And
Yeah.
that's at least 50% of joy and receive and
Yes.
give.
Yeah. And that's just it. We're big givers. But then there's the other side of the spectrum where they're on the other side where they're always receiving and
Hmm.
they don't know what it's like to be the giver. And then all of a
Right.
sudden they have an opportunity to give and they're like, their full heart is into the giving. And they're like,
Hmm.
wow, this is just as good as the receiving.
If not better.
No, yeah, if not better. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why
Yeah.
you and I are hooked on the giving
Yeah.
because it's
I
so
haven't
good.
always been hooked on the giving though. It's been, for a long, long time, I was receiving nothing but negative,
Yeah,
very, very negative things. And I learned to be suspicious of, I didn't give because I wasn't receiving anything that helped me. But once I started to receive, and I think it was when I met my husband, and he is such a giver. And I
yeah,
learned that giving is at least as good as receiving. And I
yeah, if not
changed.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've always been a giver and I've always been used and misunderstood
yeah.
because I would give to people that I barely knew, but I saw that they were in a situation where they really needed some help. Like I had a coworker and she was about to be evicted out of her apartment through no fault of her own, and she had children. And she made enough money that there was no way that she could get any help any other way than, somebody loaning her the money or giving her the money. And I had just gotten a really big amount of money. And so I gave her a couple $1,000s so that she could relocate. And she just stared at me like, why? And I'm like, because I know you're a good person. I know you're in trouble and I know that you have children. I want to help you. And it just blew her away. And then when she got on her feet later on, a few years later, she came to me. I was working the same place. She came to me and she said, you helped me more than I could ever imagine someone helping me. I was praying, praying, praying that God would send somebody to help me. And there you were. And she said, and now I'm on my feet. I'm very abundant. And I just want to give this back to you. And so then I got it at a time that I really needed it because I was getting married to my husband and I wanted to have a nice wedding and a nice honeymoon. So it was really a good, it was perfect timing. It was absolutely perfect.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So you just never know how it's going to work. It's just all so divinely guided. And when you're in alignment with whatever it is that you want, it'll come to you. It'll come to you.
It will. It's always
Yeah.
worked that way for me, luckily.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always worked that way for me too. So I've never had to worry about that. And if you're having difficulty, connecting into your gifts, then, just look us up and the information is in the description. Or if you need a healing, my sister is a Reiki master and she'd be more than happy to give you a healing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you everybody for watching.
Yes. And we're going to send you all a big love wave.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to use one hand.
Okay, where's the other one? What's it doing?
It's on the button.
Oh.
So there isn't that awkward pause of bye, bye, bye. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And if there is something that you want to know about, put it in the comments and we will channel and find out the answer for you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.